award ceremony for the Johns Hopkins University Center for Talented Youth. My name is Miranda
And I'm Alston.
and it is a pleasure to be here with you today. The Johns Hopkins University, along with Cal Poly, are here to celebrate you because you are an elite group of students. You represent some of the brightest minds of your generation. On a winter day in 1876, Daniel Floyd Gilman, one of the leading educational reformers in America, gave his first address as president of the Johns Hopkins University. Mr. Gilman had a big task ahead of him. This new university was made possible by the man after whom it was named, Johns Hopkins, a wealthy Baltimore businessman who, in his will, trusted a board with $7 million to establish a hospital and university. The size of this gift was unheard of at the time. It's the equivalent of $100 billion today. Some people would have been nervous about how to make the best use of so much money. But when it came to founding a university, Mr. Gilman had reasons to be confident. A graduate of Yale during his time as a U.S. diplomat in Europe, he visited some of the most prestigious universities in the world and later served as president of the University of California. In America at that time, many thought the purpose of education was to train people in practical, hands-on pursuits like agriculture and architecture. Disciplines that had an obvious and concrete benefit for society, especially as a society that was still relatively young and expanding. Yet Mr. Gilman insisted that the place of the university was special, that the country and indeed the world needed more institutions where the brightest minds could pursue knowledge without limitations. Give genius a place to call home, he thought, and great things would happen. As the very first president of the Johns Hopkins University, he had an extraordinary opportunity to put this belief to work, and on that winter day, he talked about how he would do it. First, this new institution needed freedom, a word Mr. Gilman used 14 times during his speech. Freedom from any political or religious constraints. Freedom to seek out the best minds regardless of age or nationality, and freedom for scholars to use the methods that best fit their research interests. He also spoke of Hopkins' Board of Trustees' idea of inviting distinguished faculty from other institutions to work at Hopkins for a set period of time. The visiting professorship is a common practice now, but was a relatively new idea at the time. So the freedom Mr. Gilman imagined would also break down the walls between universities. Along the way, he wanted to improve medical training and give young people with an interest in medical science a clear path to advance courses in the field. Mr. Gilman imagined a place where people who had already proven their abilities would never have to apologize for why or how they pursued a particular line of study. After laying much of this out, he posed himself a question. What is the significance of all this activity, he asked. After commenting on how many other countries were looking to America for examples of what higher education could be, he said it was about reaching out for a better state of society than now exists. It is a dim but indelible impression of the value of learning. It is a craving for intellectual and moral growth. It is a longing to interpret the laws of creation. It means a wish for less misery, less ignorance, less bigotry, less suffering, less fraud. It means more study of nature, more love of art, more lessons of history, more security in property, more health in cities, more virtue in the country, more wisdom in legislation, more intelligence, more happiness. He wanted to build an institution that would solve the problems of the world. The role that young people would play in this big, bold undertaking was remarkable. Part of this was strategic. During a time before airplanes, convincing respected scholars from other countries or even other states within the U.S. to permanently relocate is difficult. The young Americans of talent and promise, he said. There is our strength, a noble company they own. We do not ask them what college or what state or what church they come from, but what do they know? What can they do, and what do they want to find out? As a strong statement as this was, one of his main concerns was bright people even younger than his students that year. At the moment, there is nothing which seems to me so important, Mr. Gilman said, in this region and indeed in the entire land, as the promotion of good secondary schools preparatory to the universities. If universities like Hopkins were going to solve the world's problems, they needed lots of young, able, and curious minds. Daniel Lloyd Gilman was incredibly farsighted. Standing in downtown Baltimore 135 years ago, he described practices that would be picked up by graduate schools around the world. He spoke of what he saw as among the most precious and accessible resources with which he could build a university bright young Americans. Essentially, he spoke of you. So, in many ways, you are the greatest proof of the strength of Hopkins' success in those early ideas. In the fact that Johns Hopkins University now plays some role in preparing school-age students from around the country to tackle some of the most pressing issues of the day, Mr. Gilman's ideas were stronger than even he could have imagined. Since 1979, as part of our talent search, the Johns Hopkins Center for Talented Youth has helped more than 1 million students from 120 countries discover the true range of their academic abilities. At the recommendation of an educator or parent, tens of thousands of students per year take an above-grade level test. Every year, some, like you, not only do well on those tests, they excel. Through the talent search, you have shown your ability to follow instructions, absorb information, then utilize that information quickly and efficiently. For some, the test provided an opportunity to demonstrate your facility with the nuances of language, the subtle relationships between words and meanings. Others enjoy the elegant abstraction of math, the logic that allows just a few symbols to represent absolutely anything. You didn't have to do any of this, but you saw a challenge, showed initiative, took a risk, and thrived. Intellectual aptitude, mental agility, calculated risk-taking, these are precisely the traits Johns Hopkins University was designed to find and cultivate. And they're precisely what the world needs now to solve some of the problems it faces. Global warming, the scarcity of important natural resources, financial markets, whose changes not even supercomputers can fully account for. These are problems that require sharp minds to cross disciplinary boundaries and think in ways we haven't up to now. Hopkins was founded on intellectual freedom. So in the spirit with which Mr. Gilman reached out to young people nearly a century and a half ago, we encourage you to be free, to be bold, to think big, and to do so on your own terms. Because as you do so, you will be happy and successful. And along the way, you may discover things that are desperately needed both at home and around the world. You are the fulfillment of a dream that predates all of us. So today, the Center for Talented Youth welcomes you and salutes you. Congratulations.